Should I take my glasses off too? So when we're done.
You do whatever you want. This is your house. This is behind the music.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, behind the music with Ben.
With Ben, yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Is the music playing now?
No. Since we're you know how editing works.
Should I be playing a musical thing?
If you want to.
That's okay.
Okay. We're gonna get right into it, Ben. And Mimi.
Hi.
Since Mimi's down there. You play guitar for Neon Deadlights.
I try, yeah.
He does. He plays guitar for the band. And you have a wonderful guitar that I love. I play it a lot because it is badass.
Yes, I love it.
It
needs new strings.
It's a Gibson. It's a Gibson
Les Paul.
Yeah, Gibson Les Paul.
Is there another model?
I don't know if there was like an SE or but it's badass. It is. I just got done playing it for 15 minutes because
I got the most expensive Gibson I could afford. I actually sacrificed a really awesome acoustic Larrivee guitar that I got for my birthday for myself a while back. It hurt, but I really wanted this guitar. So.
It was a wise purchase. And I think you actually had the action adjusted a little bit, and it plays like butter.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, the store set it up for me really nice, and ever since then, I've changed the strings, but I don't. I've messed with it a little bit with the tonation and everything, but yeah, it's nice.
It's very, very nice.
Guitar talk.
Guitar talk with Ben. I want to talk about your influences. Like, what were I know your influences vary greatly from like Set, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know this about you until a little while ago, is that you really like the harder stuff.
Yeah, I ever since I heard Metallica 1 on a single, and back then they were called cassette tapes.
I remember.
And you put them in this thing, and it winds it up and plays it, right?
right.
And I listened to that because I heard about this new band Metallica, and
they've been out for a while when 1 came out.
Well,
it was like their fourth album.
Yeah,
it's okay. New to you, it's alright.
It was new to me. I had heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a different area musically.
All good.
And that started the very beginning of my harder, tastes. But I still partook in a lot of different, varied music. Music to me was something that, like, even to this day, I struggle with who is this guitarist and who was in that band or whatever. I never paid attention to that because music was more about how it made me feel.
Correct. Yeah.
Than boundaries, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't attach myself to bands, except there were a few that kind of stuck out to me that spoke to me for some reason through stages of my childhood, really.
I think the only reason that a lot of people try to learn who a guitar player is so they can kind of emulate their style. They can say, okay, that's Jerry, and Jerry is in this band, and he also does this. Let me get the tab book for Jerry and learn his style and whatnot. But you're exactly right. Music to me it's about feeling.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful feeling. I've seen you do it when we jam a song or whatnot, and it's on point. Like when you can tell, everybody can tell when it is flowing super good.
It feels good.
It feels really good. You literally will jump and go, let's do it again, because it's like drugs. It's just like, wow, yeah, let's do that again because it sounded great, and it's a wonderful feeling to have those things.
I think playing live too is so different, even from the audience perspective. There's been a resurgence in that because you're not hearing the flaws and the movement that a band will go through on a song that you've heard a long time. You hear it a certain way on the track that you hear all the time, but when you go see them live, it's a little bit different. It's always different. You see them, you see their energy.
And it never sounds the same. It's never exactly the same, and that's what a lot of people don't realize is that they try to cover songs, they try to get it note for note for note, And good for you for doing that, but you're wasting your time a little bit, in my opinion, because
I agree. Yeah.
it's just it gets muddy up there. You're not going to be able to play it perfect. Someone's going to mess up a note, and it's fine. You just play through it, and no one's going to know the difference.
I mean, they
it's
do
all
so
about
much
having a good time
in the studio anyway. Post, you know,
yeah,
so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like to hear it a little bit simpler. Anyway, and that's the thing is, I mean, I have my music taste. But when I see a street performer or somebody playing live, it doesn't matter what kind of music they're playing. I'm mesmerized.
Yeah.
I went to there. It was this old. I can't remember where we were, but it was kind of like it was down in. I want to say Charleston or somewhere, and but they had this old like prairie, like pilgrim, like village.
Connor Prairie here in India?
It wasn't here,
Oh,
but
okay.
but we were there, and there was this guy, and he was playing this 3-string weird banjo-ish like thing, right? And he sits on his lap and he plays it, and it's like a sitar or citrine or whatever
Sure, whatever it was, yeah.
And he had me play it, and then there was a 1-string bass they had Bree play.
I saw the pictures you guys put those. Yeah,
right, right. So
the 1-string bass is
we watched that old guy. I mean, he was probably 80 years old. Jamming, and he played. He said, "Everybody tells me the song is a this band called Metallica song," and he starts playing it. And he's like, "I don't know Metallica," but he starts playing it, and it was Whiskey in a Jar.
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh,
that's a good one. Keep it up. Good
So
job, man."
He had no idea. He had no idea. He was playing that song on this little thing, and it was really
But that's
good.
awesome. Yeah. And no matter how old you get, I mean, the music, I've seen videos of like old people with Alzheimer's, and they come in with a trumpet or an instrument they used to play in a band with them, and their eyes light up, because I really believe music resonates with a frequency in the body that just brings you out of something and reminds you of something, makes you feel something.
Taps into part of your brain. I mean, it's a language, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like a form of language, or that area of the brain, they say. But but it also is attached to emotion. Yeah. That's what it always done to me, because I can hear a song. Well, we all, right? You can hear a song, and you knew what that song meant to you,
right?
Where you were. You know, that's why I love songs and sad songs. That's why they work.
It's one reason I enjoy when we stop playing sometimes and we try to decide what kind of songs we want to add to the set list, and we end up getting into this circle of 80s songs. And it's just never ending. We'll play a minute of these songs, it's fun. It's great. It's not.
It drives the girls nuts, because I want to get into the main groove, and I'm like, oh yeah, but also this one, and they want to hear the whole song. I'm like, I don't have 3 minutes to go through.
We don't have time for that.
They get so mad.
They do, but it's okay. It's your house. You're in charge. Even though Allie's the boss, I think.
Yeah, Allie's definitely the boss. She doesn't want to be, but
she totally wants to be, and she is.
Yeah.
You're the boss. That's the way it is.
We appreciate her very much. So.
Yeah, we do. She was awesome. If you haven't seen or remember who Allie is, she's in the previous Behind the Music. She was the first interview.
Yeah, how do I follow that?
She's the boss. You're doing great. You're doing a good job. So you're in this band now. You decided to start this band.
Yes.
As
how long ago now?
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's been we played some shows, and what I've noticed is, because I get to sit behind the drums and watch everybody. That's one of the great things about doing what I do, is that I get to be an observer as well. And I noticed that we played at the Pike House at your fraternity. You had the whole. It was a costume, and it was the wig and the glasses, and you've worn that before.
Yeah.
And you became the character, and you looked like you were more comfortable playing.
Yeah, I like that.
Versus like the big stage that we were on for that festival.
Yeah.
I think you were a little less comfortable.
I'll become my character.
Now he's more comfortable. You got to see the wig. There's pictures out there. But does that make you more comfortable to not? I'm not going to say hide behind something, but to become something different.
Well, I mean, you're familiar with. You actually have helped me with the whole anxiety thing, because I didn't realize I had that right until, because I think I faked it a lot better than most people, as far as how I'm I'm more aggressive. I get aggressive to overcome that nervousness, right?
Yes, we know. Aggressive, yeah.
And I don't but with it just seems like with music, I'm anxious. I'm scared that people are going to judge me. I don't want to hear it. There's a lot going on there. I just want to learn it and do my best. I close off a lot. I admit that I do that, but that helps me come out and relax, like dressing up.
Yeah.
And I love that because part of me, I grew up. I was young, but I grew up in the 80s, and that was what you saw. That was cool. And not that I want to wear tights or anything, but wearing the leather jacket, having the wig. I don't have a lot of hair, so I like to have experience that. I would never have.
I mean, you were encompassed in like a cocoon. Your hair was down here, and the glasses. I mean, you were in your own little world, and just jamming.
Then I feel like I'm performing as the character and not as me, so I'm able to disassociate myself. I don't know.
You also had a shot of whiskey before that.
Oh yeah,
show as well. That
was a good time. Right?
That was helpful. I mean, yeah, you put yourself in that different character, and I think that kind of alleviates some of the anxiety. But when we were on that big stage, I think you didn't have that buffer, so it was you looked a little bit more tense until we got into it. But the pictures, you can see that you're into it. But we started off kind of. But I totally get it.
That one, it was because my board freaked out, and I could only use one or two of my pedals, and I use a number of pedals for the different cover songs we do. And then once they had to eliminate those, that was certainly an obstacle for me, for my mind to get 100%, over.
Yeah.
So I just used with what I had. I knew it didn't sound right, which I wasn't pleased about. But show must go on, and we powered through.
We did, and everybody liked it. I was watching people out in the audience sing and jam and dancing, playing drums with me, and I was like, I'm bad.
My biggest regret because of that, I wasn't able to play the sound that I wanted for the Pink Floyd song.
Solo?
Yeah.
Mother?
Yeah. So I was, and I felt like I played it fairly well.
You did, but you get in your head. You're like, you're in the middle of playing a song, and you start thinking, okay, I don't have the right sound. Is this even sounding right? Yeah. And you should be thinking about the solo and whatnot. You start thinking about those things, and it becomes that's when you start, and it's a whole wheel of it's
a learning process, right? We've had a couple gigs that we've played where things have gone wrong, and they're in there playing right now, but. Where there was one where we had the drum thing happen, where our drums stopped working because everybody thinks we're crazy for using electric drums. I think we're awesome because of it.
It's like having mic drums everywhere you go, which is cool. Yeah. Our very, very first gig, I was playing it through a guitar amp, and it sounded like but ever since we started incorporating it through the PA, it sounds so much better. Now, I was still... With that big stage show, they had tons of PA equipment. I mean, this was a professional audio setup.
Oh, yeah.
And they couldn't figure out how to get your pedals to work. They couldn't figure out how to get the bass to work. They couldn't figure out how to get the drums to work. And the drums, you just need to plug in an input into the board.
With that because I didn't even know any of that was going on because I was dealing with my own. I was in my own world, right?
Yeah. So, once your thing went south, you're like, oh my god, and no one else probably matters. Yeah, we were all having our own issues that night. But, and then the people that own the place, they had these lights, and I was watching them, again, being the observer behind the drums, they were taking turns playing with the lighting patterns, like messing with us, and they would set it down, someone else could sit down and go, I'm like,
dude, can we just play?
Can you pick somebody to do it? But whatever.
No, they were great, though, for having us on, for being a no-name band.
Yeah, and the way they treated us was... spectacular. Not only the people that hosted it and put it on treated us really well, the other bands were awesome.
We came on, I think it was around midnight or so, right? Or was it later than that?
I think it was before that, wasn't it?
No, it was. There were 4 bands that played before us.
Wow, yeah.
And they started around 8.
Yeah.
Or 7, actually. Started around 7-ish.
So it was really late.
And so when we started, thankfully, I think everybody had been drinking enough to enjoy us. So.
Yeah.
But those bands metal bands.
They were hard.
We're of course not.
Right. We were the only band that played covers.
They were shredding. I've been playing guitar now for 5.5 years, and only really got serious once we got into the band 3 or so years ago. So I'm still learning, and I watch these guys, and they're smoking, right? And I thought, oh boy, nobody's gonna like us.
Well, playing the cover songs is a nice cover because all you have to do is play other people's songs. Doesn't matter how good you are. I think that's kind of why we change them a little bit. No, it's because we
don't have to be good.
We change them a little bit to fit our style and our abilities.
Yeah.
If we need to change a song, like the solo for Another Brick in the Wall, no one wanted to do it, so we don't play it. We go into another song.
It's just like, can we do it very well? You might be able to do it, but
I could definitely do it. Cocker. No. But I've been playing since the 80s, so
yeah. Well, you were the only one that had a shot at doing it. Well, I mean, I feel good that I've conquered. I've tackled On the Wall, or what is it, Mother. So I've taken on a Pink Floyd song.
Yeah.
I probably could. I just feel like with a full-time job, it's so hard to do that. But then once I get into it, I realize, well, this isn't as bad as what I thought it would be.
And you don't have to stress out so much about practicing. A lot of people are like, I have to dedicate an hour and a half each night to do it. Really, it's if you do 15 minutes or more a day, that's really all you need. And what I like to do is I like to dry string it. I take my electric and I'll put the TV on if I want to show. And I don't even look. I look at the TV, but I'm just moving my fingers in a scale pattern. Yeah. And just doing that. Not even picking it yet. I'm just moving my fingers. And if you want to strum it, during commercials, and then you set it down for a little bit and whatever. It's just noodling, and noodling is it helps a lot with everything because you don't realize that you're learning to play without looking at all kinds of different things.
I wish I learned when I was a kid because they pick it up so fast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but I'm enjoying it now, and that's what matters for me. So I can say that I've at least learned. I've been able to perform on stage well enough that we didn't get booed off of it. So that was a win.
We haven't been booed yet. I don't think
we've been. How many gigs now? When you think about it, we've
5 or 6.
Probably more than that.
7 or 8.
Yeah,
probably 7 or 8. Which is not huge, but we're doing this for retirement purposes. So he's only 45, I'm 44.
In 20 years.
In 20 years we'll be doing tons of gigs because that's when we need the money. Is in 20 years for retirement.
Cash.
Yeah. You have any questions for me before we
Do I have a question for you?
Before we shut this down? Yeah, I don't know. You don't have. You can.
So, you're doing this video or this whole channel, and I've been watching it from the beginning. I've seen about 90% of them.
I would say there's one Minecraft Monday that 0 people have watched. I even put out a thing yesterday saying, who wants to be the first one to watch it? Still, no views.
I have to go back. I got busy this week.
It's hilarious. I really think I need to let go of Minecraft Monday and do
it's
something
not
different.
working.
Not working.
I got to show you how. Maybe we could do one together.
I'm good. Absolutely, that would be great. I'm good at Minecraft when I'm not trying to talk at the same time. I realize, I talk to my kids and stuff, but usually I just kind of tune them out and do my own thing.
You need someone there to talk with, so you can kind of.
That's completely
and then
right.
then have a task, set a task.
Yeah,
that's what we need to do. So we'll figure that out. We'll do it.
Perfect.
Minecraft's awesome.
It is. It's great. It's great for anxiety because I like build, and you just sit there and zone out.
It's so relaxing.
It is relaxing. Yeah, that's basically
so
why
relaxing.
I like it so much. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No. So you've been doing this. What are your plans for this? So I've been very impressed that you've been doing it every day. Have you missed a day yet? Because I don't think so. You had that one mess up with the video, but
there was one video that they said there was a copyright issue, so they put it on hold. So I went into an office, I went into a different room at work, and I recorded a quick video to kind of talk about that, and I put it up so that there was something there. Again, part of doing the video every day is more than just putting a video up every day. It's it's teaching me patience, consistency, helping me be more creative and do more things instead of just watching TV or whatever it is. It's pushing me to be better.
Yeah.
Which is the whole goal of it. And one of the upcoming topics is the fact that I don't want to follow the typical YouTube formula.
You said that in the last video. Was it
Yeah.
yesterday?
Well, I started making a few videos and then I thought, well, I'd really like more people to see these. What does it take to get more subscribers and more views? So I started to research it, and I came.
Do you want people to see it, or are you doing this for yourself?
I'm doing it for myself.
But it would make you happy if people started watching it. Is that true? Or would that make you more anxious?
I think it would help the anxiety.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is putting myself out there for people to see, for me not to be scared for people to see it. So the more people that watch it, probably the better I would feel, the more anxiety it would overcome, I believe.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say that you need to do this kind of video, or you have to do this and put this in your video. Go find these guys and do a follow-up video and I don't want to do that.
No, you should
just to get people. I'm doing what I want to do.
You should do what you want to do, but
that's it.
I like one thing though that you've been consistent about is talking about why that you do it and you're doing this. I think that a lot of people that suffer from anxiety, which I never realized it was such a thing, because I didn't really, I mean, we all have our own anxieties, right? And I just try not to pay attention to it. But having gotten to know you, I thought you were very odd and closed up, and I always thought you hated me.
No,
because you wouldn't ever express yourself around me, and it
was around anybody. It wasn't. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, around me is all I know, right? Because when
I first got in the band, a couple months after being in the band, I think Allie looked at me and said, "What in the hell, dude? Like, are you mad at us?" And we had to have actually a band meeting where I said, "Look, I've got anxiety, and I had to explain the whole thing." And they're like, "Oh, well, if you put it that way, okay."
You were just trying to keep it together inside, right?
Correct. Yes.
And you were scared of what we thought about you and everything, which we thought the opposite, which is the weird thing about anxiety, that I've learned. I realized that it can be crippling, to a point where Tobin is so good, we were just trying to keep up with him, and he's afraid of what we,
it's weird. But
yeah.
What was great is we stopped playing and we all started talking. I mean, we had, and that's the one thing I appreciated more than anything. We had a couple-hour conversation about lives and families and feelings and how we are and how we feel towards friends and other people. And I'm like, that's perfect. And I think it's been great ever since. Just the communication is good.
Well, I think you have an opportunity to reach people that suffer from the same thing.
That's part of the hope, is that for one, people will understand me a little bit better, because you kept thinking, understand me a little better, but maybe they'll understand something better about themselves and it might help somebody. I'm just a little nobody in this world.
That's not true.
But if one person sees a video and says, "Yeah, I have anxiety too," and yeah, I understand that, and if it helps one person feel a little bit better, then I'm all for it.
I think it's great. Ever since you started and I saw why you were doing it, I wanted you to do more and more.
I'm still doing it.
I'm trying to back there and champion it.
Yeah, doing a great job of championing it, and
I like the ones that I see, so you probably see it come across.
They're evolving, I think, a little bit. I can see a little bit less anxiety in some of the videos, which is good. And I added an intro, and I've added an outro, and then they're evolving videos, and it's fun. It's been a really fun, creative process to do these, and they'll keep evolving. Soon they're going to be full-on music videos with strippers.
Okay, I'm in.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for today, because we got to go jam.
Yep.
So the last word?
Let's do this. I should be more confident, right?
Sure, yes.
Let's do this.